So the first feature of public enterprises is state ownership. State ownership means the company or the sector is either owned by the central government or the state government, or that doesn't mean that only the state government, the share is of the state government. It can be of the central government, it can be of the state government, or it can be of the local government. And in case of partnership between the private and the public sector, the maximum shareholder, maximum ownership is that of the government. That is 51% of the share capital is owned by the government, right? So I told you that it is important to clear that. State here doesn't mean that the state government, but the government which includes all type of government. So the next feature is state control. The full management and the ownership is in the hand of the government. It is in the hand of the government. Some of the enterprises are established by the government under its own department. Like I've told you, that is the railway department, Department of Education, Ministry of Human Resource Development. That is also the government owned department. For example, the Post and Telegraph Department, I have already told you, it is under the Ministry of Post and Telegraph Department, which is run by the ministry concerned, by the Ministry of Communication. Similarly, some enterprises have been left to some independent boards like the Bhakranagar Control Board, Hirakud Control Board, but the final control, it rests with the government. So state has the ownership, state has the full control. Control का मतलब क्या है? The decision making power. Some major decisions are taken by the government. It has full control over the working of the sector of the company. The next feature is financial freedom. There is almost complete financial freedom in the government companies. That is, the investment is, the capital is made by the government. The funds which are given, which are in the, which is given in the company, the which is invested in the company, is by the government. And now, obviously, they can take from the public. They can invite the public to subscribe for the shares. They can get funds from the public. They can get investment from the public, and because after the policy of LPG, you all know about that, liberalization, privatization and globalization. After that, so public has also full right to subscribe the shares of the public sector company, and therefore the government enterprises mostly get loan and capital from the public to satisfy the financial needs, but the major chunk of capital is invested by the government itself. There is no problem of finances नहीं आती है गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में. अगर आप जाएं तो फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम रहती है इन लोगों को, फाइनेंसिस की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट इज देयर एंड मोर ओवर वो पब्लिक से भी पैसा लेते हैं. Then next one is service motive. I told you the chief aim of public sector company is service motive. Obviously, they get profits. Their aim is to earn profits, because how they are going to bear the expenses of their company. But the service motive, the chief aim, establishment of the public sector company is the service motive. A private enterprise is established only when there is some possibility or hope of profits, but a government enterprises also can run in the case of losses even. You can see railways are running into losses. Even the BSNL, our communication department, it's running into losses, but still there are number of public sector banks which are running into losses, but they are not shut in spite of being running into the losses. The reason is that, again, that the service motive, the main aim of the sector or the public sector is to satisfy the needs of the society, because in the society we have all type of layers, like the creamy layer and the poor one are also there, the weaker section of society is also there. So the service motive is the main aim of the public sector company. The next one is public accountability. That's a very good point in the public sector company. That is the public accountability. What is accountability? Accountability means answerability. They have to answer in case if they are not able to fulfill the promises which have they made to the public. For example, अगर रेलवे से कोई रेलवे की नेग्लिजेंस की वजह से, केयरलेसनेस की वजह से कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, या कुछ उनकी सर्विसेज में प्रॉब्लम आता है, या सर्विसेज में कोई कमी आती है, तो दे हैव टू टेल टू द पब्लिक द रीजन why they are not able to give the accurate services, efficient services to the public. Especially they are government enterprises are accountable not only to the government but also to the public. They have to tell in front of whole public as well as government the reasons for the poor quality which they have provided to the public. And the elected representative of people criticize their success of failure in the parliament or in the state assemblies. अभी आप देखो पार्लियामेंट में जब उनका सेशन होता है, तो अगर रेलवे मिनिस्टर से पूछा जाएगा भाई तेरी गलती की वजह से ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, या तेरी गलती की वजह से पब्लिक को ये प्रॉब्लम आई है, why you have to give the reason for the failure of the services or for the lack of quality of services which you have provided to the public. So fully accountability is there of the public sector. The next one is bureaucracy in management. I told you there are directors are appointed in the public sector companies, and mostly they are the bureaucrats, IAS officers, IPS officers, जो बहुत एक क्रीमी लेयर है, जो एक टॉप पोजीशंस रखते हैं, वो इन कंपनीज के डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं, और गवर्नमेंट जो है इनको अपॉइंट करती है डायरेक्टर्स एंड द मेजर जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं ऑफ द कंपनी. सो ब्यूरोक्रेसी इन मैनेजमेंट है, दे आर रन बाय द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर्स एंड देयर डिसीजंस आर ऑफन इनफ्लेक्सिबल. Inflexible means they can't change their decisions. Once they are made, they are made. It is only because of this characteristics that the decision in these enterprises are not taken quickly. अभी देखो आप, CBSE is affiliated to, it comes under the HRD department, and just to make a decision whether to cancel the CBSE exams or not, a big bureaucracy is there. One has to concern the home minister, the health minister, and the PMO even to make decisions. So decisions are not quickly taken in the public sector companies, or the public sector decisions are not very quickly taken because they are held by the bureaucrats, the top officers, the ministries, the main leaders. They are controlled by that. So in these enterprises, even the smallest decisions are taken by the consultation of the government. If the government is not satisfied, if the government also consults with various authorities, the top authorities, and then it makes decisions. So decisions are not quickly taken in the public sector companies, and obviously it leads to unnecessary delay in the activities. When the decisions are not taken quickly, some of the important there's a time gap, some important opportunities may be lag behind that. We may lose the important opportunities. The next one is harmonious industrial relationship. So the attitude of the public enterprises is very liberal. You see, in the private sector the attitude is very competitive. एक sector private sector company यानी आदित्य बिरला फुली compete करता है रिलायंस से. अगर रिलायंस अपना जियो का निकालता है तो वो आइडिया की कुछ नई स्कीम्स निकाल देता है. यानी बहुत सारा कंपटीशन होता है, लिबरलाइजेशन नहीं होता है, लिबरल एटीट्यूड नहीं होता है, एक कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन होता है बिटवीन द टू कंपनीज. लेकिन पब्लिक सेक्टर में ऐसा नहीं होता है. These enterprises adopt the policies which are beneficial for the employees, for the consumers, and ultimately for the entire society. Because of this very characteristics of public enterprises, they have a very harmonious relationship with each other. But in the private, I told you, there's a cutthroat competition between the, and you can see also the variation in the salaries, the environment, and different incentive structure of the employees who are working in the private sector. But in the public sector, there is no variations. Then next one is useful for all the sectors. Public enterprises do not serve any particular section of the society. It serves the entire society. It is main aim is to of building this, of constituting the public sector is to give service to the entire society. Then is monopoly in few sectors. After LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization, that is a policy which was introduced by Dr. Manmohan Singh in 1991. बहुत सारे ऐसे सेक्टर्स हैं जो पब्लिक गवर्नमेंट ने क्या कर दिया था, लिबरलाइज कर दिया था. लिबरलाइज का मतलब है फ्री फ्रॉम द कंट्रोल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. बट देयर आर few sectors like defense, like railways and atomic power, which is still under the control of the government. Government has full control on these sectors. So monopoly in few sectors, just because they are very crucial for the economy, they are very crucial for our country. So these sectors are not, liberalized for the private sectors. They are fully owned and controlled by the public sector. I told you the railways and the defense and the atomic energy, all these sectors, they are fully controlled and owned. The monopoly क्या होता है, एकाधिकार, one man show. So government, no interference is allowed of the private sector to interfere in these companies, and these companies are fully controlled by the government. There is no share of the private individuals. So all these are the features. Next we will discuss about the forms of public enterprises in which departmental undertaking is there, and we will discuss in detail. I'll give you the assignment, and you have to complete that assignment, and also the earlier assignments which are given to you. You have to, I hope that you must have noted it down on your notebooks, because I have given you instructions to note it down in your assignment copy, and definitely roll number wise I'm going to check your copies. So 1 to 10 roll numbers, keep your assignment ready. Within 2 or 3 days I'm going to ask for that. Thank you and have a nice day.